Yo, listen up. Life in these streets, it ain't for the weak. You step outside and it's chaos. People testing you, situations trying to break you, and the world throwing curveballs like it's got a personal vendetta. But here's the real talk. The streets don't define you. It's how you handle the chaos that sets you apart. You see, I used to let everything get to me. A dude steps on my sneakers, I'm ready to throw hands. Someone disrespects me, I'm boiling inside. But then I realized something. Anger? It's a trap. It's a weak man's weapon, and it only leaves you weaker. So I started looking deeper. I studied the old school wisdom of the Stoics, guys like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. And let me tell you, they had game. They knew how to stay calm when the world was on fire. These Stoic dudes weren't just philosophers. They were street-smart warriors in their own right. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire but still found time to write about staying grounded. Epictetus, born a slave, taught that true freedom comes from mastering your mind. And Seneca, he was out here dealing with politics, betrayal, and exile, but he never lost his cool. They all faced chaos, wars, betrayals, loss, but they didn't let it break them. They turned it into strength. So I took their lessons and applied them to my life. And let me tell you, it changed everything. I stopped letting the little stuff get to me. I stopped reacting like a puppet on someone else's strings. Instead, I started responding with clarity and calm. I started seeing the world for what it is, not what I thought it should be. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. The streets will always test you. People will always try to push your buttons. But here's the thing. You don't have to let them win. You can choose how you respond. You can choose to stay in control. So, let me break it down for you. 7 lessons from the streets and the Stoics that'll change how you move. 7 ways to never let anyone or anything shake your peace. These aren't just theories. They're practical tools you can use every day. Whether you're dealing with a disrespectful coworker, a toxic friend, or just the everyday stress of life, these lessons will help you rise above it. Let's get into it. First up, Lesson 1. Embrace willingness in life. You've probably heard the saying, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react. It's a classic for a reason. The Stoics took it a step further. They said, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. So, stop fighting the current. Instead, learn to flow with it. You lost your job? All right, what's next? Someone betrayed you? Fine, now you know who's real. Willingness isn't about giving up, it's about stepping up. It's saying, whatever life throws at me, I'm ready to handle it. That's how you win. You see, the streets don't care about your plans. You might be ready to conquer the world, but then life hits you with a layoff, a breakup, or worse. The Stoics knew this. They said, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. So stop fighting the current. Instead, learn to flow with it. You lost your job? All right, what's next? Someone betrayed you? Fine. Now you know who's real. Willingness isn't about giving up, it's about stepping up. It's saying, whatever life throws at me, I'm ready to handle it. That's how you win. Let's break it down. Willingness is about accepting the reality of a situation and then deciding how you're going to move forward. It's not about being passive or resigned, it's about being proactive in the face of adversity. Take a look at that argument on the street. Those 2 people are letting their emotions control them. They're reacting instead of responding. But you're standing there calmly, observing. You're choosing not to get caught up in the chaos. That's willingness in action. The Stoics believe that everything that happens is an opportunity to practice virtue. Losing your job? That's an opportunity to find a new path, to reinvent yourself. A breakup? That's a chance to learn about yourself, to grow stronger. Willingness is about seeing these challenges as opportunities, not obstacles. Here's the thing, willingness also means being honest with yourself. It's about acknowledging where you are right now, without sugarcoating it or pretending it's something it's not. Only when you accept the truth can you start to change it. So, how do you cultivate willingness? Start by practicing mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Notice when you're resisting reality and ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I grow from it? Remember, willingness is a skill. The more you practice it, the stronger you'll become. And the stronger you become, the more you'll be able to handle whatever life throws at you. Look at this scene. Those two people are letting their emotions control them. They're reacting instead of responding. But you're standing there calmly, observing. You're choosing not to get caught up in the chaos. That's willingness in action. This is your journey. Own it. Peace. Look, we all do it. Someone cuts you off in traffic and you're like, what an idiot. Someone talks trash and you're ready to label them for life. But here's the thing. When you judge, you're giving away your power. The Stoics say, what's good for the bee is bad for the frog. That means what's good for someone else might not be good for you, and that's okay. Instead of judging, try to understand. Maybe that dude who cut you off is rushing to the hospital. Maybe the person talking trash is hurting inside. When you stop judging, you start seeing the world for what it is, not what you think it should be. Judging others is like carrying around a heavy weight. You think you're judging them, but really, you're only weighing yourself down. Every time you label someone as stupid, rude, or selfish, you're feeding your own frustration. You're letting their actions control your emotions. And let's be real, that's not power. That's giving someone else the keys to your peace. The Stoics had a practice called sympathia. It's about seeing yourself as connected to everyone and everything. When you look at someone, you're not just seeing their actions, you're seeing a human being just like you. They've got their struggles, their fears, their story. Maybe they're dealing with stuff you can't even imagine. Think about it. That person who cut you off in traffic, maybe they're rushing to the hospital to see a loved one. That coworker who's always snapping at you, maybe they're dealing with stress at home. The guy talking trash on the block, maybe he's just trying to cover up his own insecurities. When you start seeing people this way, it changes everything. You stop taking things personally. You stop letting their actions rattle you. Instead, you respond with understanding, or even compassion. And that's real power. Marcus Aurelius said, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. What he's saying is, people act the way they do because they don't know any better. They're stuck in their own ignorance, their own pain. When you realize that, it's easier to let go of judgment. You're not excusing their behavior. You're just choosing not to let it affect you. And here's the thing, when you stop judging others, you start freeing yourself. You stop wasting energy on things you can't control. You stop carrying around all that anger and resentment. Instead, you focus on what you can control. Your own actions, your own mindset. So the next time someone does something that pisses you off, take a step back. Ask yourself, why are they acting this way? Try to see the world through their eyes. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them or let them off the hook. It just means you're choosing to respond with understanding instead of anger. This isn't about being soft, it's about being strong. It's about taking back your power. When you stop judging, you start living with more clarity, more peace, and more control. And that's how you win. You see those kids out there? They're not judging each other, they're just playing the game, having fun, living in the moment. That's the mindset we need to bring into our own lives. Stop judging, start understanding, and watch how everything changes. In the streets, we always want to be in control. We want to call the shots, run the show. But here's the truth. You can't control everything. The weather, traffic, other people's actions, it's all out of your hands. So what do? You focus on what you can control. Your mind, your attitude, your actions. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. It's about knowing the difference between what's up to you and what's not. When you let go of control, you stop stressing over things you can't change. And trust me, that's freedom. Let's break it down. Picture this. You're driving to an important meeting, and suddenly, traffic comes to a standstill. You're stuck. What can you do? Honk your horn? Scream at the cars in front of you? Sure, but will it change anything? Nope. All it does is raise your blood pressure and ruin your mood. The Stoics would say, why stress over what you can't control? Instead of wasting energy on the traffic, which you can't change, focus on what you can control. Maybe use that time to breathe, to think, to listen to something that inspires you. That's the power of the dichotomy of control. It's not just about traffic, though. This principle applies to everything in life. Your boss's mood? Not your control. Your friend's decisions? Not your control. Even your own health. Yes, you can eat right and exercise, but you can't control every aspect of it. When you try to control what's out of your hands, you're setting yourself up for frustration. It's like trying to stop the waves in the ocean. You'll only end up exhausted and defeated. But when you focus on what you can control, your mindset, your actions, your choices, you're stepping into your power. Here's the thing. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It's not about being passive or indifferent. It's about being active where it matters. It's about channeling your energy into the things that do depend on you, your attitude, your effort, your growth. Think about it. You can't control whether it rains on your wedding day, but you can control how you handle it. You can't control whether someone likes you, but you can control how kind and authentic you are. You can't control the past or the future, but you can control how you respond to them. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's the key. When you stop trying to control everything, you start living with more ease, more clarity, and more strength. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start being the master of your own life. So the next time you find yourself trying to control something that's out of your hands, take a step back. Ask yourself, can I change this? If not, how can I respond in a way that aligns with my values? That's how you let go of control and step into freedom. This wall, it's full of imperfections, cracks, layers of paint, misspelled words, but that's what makes it beautiful. It's raw, real, and full of character. Imperfection isn't the enemy, it's the essence of life. Embrace it. The streets ain't perfect, and neither is life. People will let you down, things won't go your way. But the Stoics say, this is how it's supposed to be. When you stop expecting perfection, you stop being disappointed. You start seeing beauty in the flaws. That crack in the sidewalk, it's got character. That friend who messed up, they're human, just like you. Imperfection isn't the enemy, it's the essence of life. Embrace it. Let's be real. We live in a world that's always telling us to aim for perfection. Perfect job, perfect relationship, perfect body, like any of that is even possible. But chasing perfection is like chasing a mirage. You'll never catch it, but you'll exhaust yourself trying. The Stoics knew this. They said, the world isn't here to meet your expectations, it's here to teach you. And what's one of the biggest lessons? That imperfection is everywhere. In people, in systems, in life itself. And that's okay. Take a look around. This city, it's full of imperfections. The potholes in the street, the peeling paint on the walls, the people arguing on the corner. But that's what makes it alive. That's what makes it real. Perfection is sterile, it's cold. But imperfection, that's where the stories are. That's where the beauty is. And it's not just the world, it's you too. You're not perfect, none of us are. You've made mistakes, you've messed up. But those flaws, they're part of your story. They're what make you human. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That's the key. When you stop expecting the world to be perfect, you stop being disappointed when it's not. Instead, you start seeing the lessons in the mess. You start appreciating the beauty in the chaos. Think about it. That friend who let you down, maybe they were going through something. That project that didn't turn out the way you wanted, maybe it taught you something you needed to learn. Even that crack in your favorite mug, it's a reminder that nothing lasts forever. And that's what makes it precious. Embracing imperfection isn't about settling for less. It's about seeing life for what it is, messy, unpredictable, and beautiful. It's about finding peace in the chaos and understanding that nothing is ever truly wrong. It's just different from what you expected. So the next time something doesn't go your way, take a step back. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I see the beauty in it? That's how you embrace imperfection. That's how you find peace in a world that's anything but perfect. This mirror, it's got a crack running through it. But guess what? It still shows the truth. It still reflects who I am, flaws and all. That's the power of embracing imperfection. It's not about hiding your cracks, it's about owning them. Because those cracks, they're what make you real. They're what make you strong. Here's where most people get it twisted. They blame others for how they feel. He made me angry. She stressed me out. Nah, that's weak. The truth is, no one can make you feel anything. Your emotions are yours. The Stoics say, you are the master of your mind. So the next time you're angry, ask yourself, why am I choosing to feel this way? When you take responsibility, you take back your power. And that's when you start winning. Let's break this down. Imagine this. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and you're instantly furious. Your heart's racing, your hands are gripping the wheel, and you're ready to lay on the horn. But here's the question. Who's really in charge of your emotions here? The guy who cut you off? Or you? Here's the hard truth. Other people's actions don't control your emotions. Your thoughts about their actions do. That guy who cut you off didn't make you angry. Your choice to focus on his action and interpret it as disrespect is what made you angry. The Stoics called this the power of interpretation. It's about realizing that your mind, not external events, is the source of your emotions. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. When someone disrespects you or lies to you or hurts you, it's natural to feel angry, sad, or frustrated. But here's the thing. Those emotions are yours. They're not forced on you. You're choosing to feel them based on how you're interpreting what happened. So what do? You take responsibility. You stop blaming others for how you feel and start asking yourself, why am I feeling this way? What am I telling myself about this situation that's causing these emotions? When you do that, you're stepping into your power. You're saying, I'm in control of my mind, and I'm choosing how I respond. Epictetus said, people are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. That's the key. When you realize that your emotions come from your thoughts, not the world around you, you're no longer a victim. You're the one in charge. Let's take it a step further. Imagine you're in a crowded subway and people are arguing around you. Voices are raised, tempers are flaring, and the energy is tense. You've got two choices. You can let that chaos get to you, or you can stay calm. The choice is yours. When you take responsibility for your emotions, you're not just staying calm, you're setting an example. You're showing the people around you that it's possible to rise above the chaos. You're proving that no matter what's happening outside, you can stay in control inside. And here's the best part. When you take responsibility for your emotions, you start seeing challenges as opportunities. That guy who cut you off in traffic, he's not a villain, he's a teacher. He's giving you a chance to practice patience, to stay calm under pressure, to strengthen your mind. So the next time you feel angry, frustrated, or stressed, stop and ask yourself, what am I choosing to feel right now? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my values? That's how you take responsibility. That's how you take back your power. Look at this scene. People are arguing, but I'm staying calm. Why? Because I'm choosing to. I'm not letting their chaos become my chaos. I'm taking responsibility for my emotions, and that's how I win. In the streets, reactions get you locked up, or worse. The Stoics call this apatheia, a state of calm where you don't let external chaos move you. So when someone tries to push your buttons, don't react. Take a breath. Pause. Let the moment pass. Non-reaction isn't about being weak. It's about being strong enough to stay in control. It's saying, I'm not going to let you dictate my energy. That's real power. Let me break it down for you. Picture this. You're walking down the block, minding your business, and someone says something slick. Maybe it's a jab about your clothes, your hustle, or even your family. Your first instinct? React. Throw a punch, snap back, or at least clap back with some words. But here's the thing. When you react, you're giving them exactly what they want. You're letting them control you. The Stoics taught that true strength lies in non-reaction. It's not about ignoring the situation or pretending it doesn't bother you. It's about choosing not to let someone else dictate how you feel or act. It's about staying in control of your energy, no matter what. Marcus Aurelius said, choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. That's the essence of non-reaction. When you choose not to let someone's words or actions affect you, you're taking away their power. You're saying, you can't shake me, I'm in control here. And here's the best part. Non-reaction isn't just about avoiding conflict. It's about creating space. When you pause instead of reacting, you give yourself time to think. You give yourself the chance to respond, not out of anger or impulse, but out of clarity and purpose. Think about it. That person talking trash on the block, They're just trying to get a rise out of you. But when you stay calm, when you don't react, you're showing them that their words don't matter. You're proving that your peace is stronger than their pettiness. Non-reaction also gives you the upper hand in arguments. When someone's yelling and you're calm, who looks stronger? When someone's trying to provoke you and you don't take the bait, who's in control? Non-reaction is a weapon, but it's a silent one. It's a way of winning without fighting. And it's not just about dealing with others. It's about dealing with yourself. How many times have you regretted something you said or did in the heat of the moment? When you practice non-reaction, you give yourself the chance to avoid those regrets. You give yourself the chance to act, not react. So the next time someone tries to push your buttons, remember this. You don't have to react. Take a breath. Pause. Let the moment pass. Then respond with intention, not emotion. That's how you stay in control. That's how you win. Look at this moment. I'm not reacting to the chaos around me. I'm choosing to be calm, to be helpful. That's the power of non-reaction. It's not about avoiding the world. It's about engaging with it on your own terms. And that's how you build real strength. In the streets, we're taught to look out for ourselves. But the Stoics say, true joy comes from helping others. When you give without expecting anything in return, you tap into something deeper. It's not about being a hero. It's about being human. Whether it's helping a neighbor or just listening to a friend, selflessness connects you to the world in a way that nothing else can. And that's real fulfillment. Let's dig deeper. In the hustle and grind of life, especially in the streets, it's easy to get caught up in the me-first mindset. You're taught to look out for number one, to get yours, and to make sure no one takes advantage of you. And while self-preservation is important, there's a bigger truth. Real strength, real joy, comes from looking out for others. The Stoics believed that we're all part of the same human family. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What's not good for the hive isn't good for the bee." He's saying that helping others isn't just good for them. It's good for you too. When you lift someone else up, you're lifting yourself up in the process. Think about it. When was the last time you did something purely for someone else? Maybe you helped a neighbor carry their groceries, like the old lady in that scene. Maybe you listened to a friend who was going through a tough time. Maybe you just shared a smile with someone who looked like they needed it. How did that make you feel? Chances are, it made you feel good, not because you got something in return, but because you connected with someone on a human level. Selflessness isn't about being a saint or a martyr. It's about recognizing that we're all in this together. It's about understanding that when you help others, you're strengthening the world around you. And in doing that, you're also strengthening yourself. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." That's another way of saying that true richness doesn't come from what you have, but from what you give. When you give your time, your energy, your kindness, you're creating something more valuable than money or material things. You're creating connection, meaning, and purpose. Here's the thing. Selflessness doesn't have to be grand. It's in the small acts, the moments when you put someone else's needs before your own. It's in the way you show up for the people around you, not because you have to, but because you want to. And here's the secret. When you give without expecting anything in return, you're actually giving yourself the greatest gift of all. You're reminding yourself that you're part of something bigger. You're proving that your life has meaning beyond just surviving or succeeding. So, the next time you're out there in the world, look for ways to be selfless. Help someone who's struggling. Listen to someone who's hurting. Share what you have, even if it's just your time or a kind word. You'll find that the more you give, the more you receive. Not in material ways, but in the joy and fulfillment that come from being connected to others. Yo, this is the finish line. 7 lessons from the streets and the Stoics that'll change how you move. 7 ways to stay calm, stay strong, and stay in control. Remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being better than you were yesterday. So take these lessons, apply them to your life. Stop letting anger control you. Stop letting people shake your peace. Start living with clarity, resilience, and strength. These streets will always test you, but with these tools, you'll be ready. Remember, the Stoics didn't just talk about this stuff. They lived it. And so can you. It's not about being perfect. It's about being better than you were yesterday. So take these lessons, apply them to your life, and watch how everything changes. This is your journey. Own it. Peace. Yo, for more insights, stories, and practical tips, check out our playlist on Stoic philosophy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your experiences in the comments below. Join our community of growth, wisdom, and fulfillment. Stay stoic, stay strong. Peace out.